Welcome back to Bookish Brits. My name is Michelle and apparently today is Australia Day. Hurrah! What I really wanted to do for today's video is talk about some of my favorite UK YA authors, but when I first found out that it was Australia Day, then I thought I would change direction slightly and talk about one particular author who identifies as both being Australian as well as UKYA because she lives here, and that is Lucy Christopher, the author of Stolen and The Killing Woods, as well as Fly Away, which I won't talk about today because it's more middle grade and I haven't read it, but hurrah for Lucy Christopher! Now, I've only discovered Lucy Christopher's work recently, and it was because I was invited to an event at Chicken House just before the publication of The Killing Woods, and I didn't want to meet Lucy Christopher and have to say, oh, actually I've not read anything by you. So I thought that it was time finally to pick up Stolen. I'd heard really good things about it. I was definitely intrigued, but I felt like it was a book that I'd kind of needed to psych myself up for and really build myself up because it felt like it would be a very heavy story. And actually, when I started reading Stolen, I found that I was very quickly hooked into the story, into the setting in particular, and I just wanted to read and read and read until I'd finished it. Now this is the story of this teenage girl who's on holiday, I believe, with her parents, and she's kidnapped in an airport and she's taken to the outback of Australia by this kind of stalker guy. And what's really strange is the way that this girl begins to feel about her captor. It's a letter to her captor, and it really details everything that she's feeling to this kidnapping, you know, during the abduction, everything that she's feeling, and she really documents everything about this entire experience and the feelings of isolation and being stuck and against her will, but also the fact that she grew to love Australia and the beauty that surrounds her, and I think that both really show up incredibly well within this book. Like, now there is like an aspect of a love story between these two characters, and again that is something that slightly put me off throughout reading it, but you know, I really think that it was interestingly done. This book in particular is definitely a book that I'd love to see a sequel about. I want to know what happens at the end of this book. I read The Killing Woods, which was published a couple of years ago by Chicken House, and it was so very good as well. Now, The Killing Woods is a dual perspective novel, and this story is told from two main characters, Emily and Damon, and it surrounds the death of this teenage girl in this woods, in these woods behind Emily's house. Now, Emily's dad is accused of murdering this girl, and Emily knows that Emily wants to believe the best in her father. She wants to believe that he is not capable of doing this. And so she's really on a hunt to, you know, find out answers and clear her dad's name. And the other perspective in this book is that of Damon, and Damon is the boyfriend of the girl who was killed in the woods, and he wakes up the morning that her body is discovered and he has no idea what's happened the night before. So he's on this search for answers as well, but his fear is that possibly he might have had some responsibility in this girl's death. So I loved this book so much. I loved the mystery of what's happened to this girl. I love that Emily's dad is suffering from PTSD, and we really get a good glimpse of that. There's a real like fast pace, on the edge of your seat kind of feeling about this book, in that, you know, I got really emotionally invested in both Emily and Damon's stories, but but it also felt like there couldn't be a happy ending for everyone. And I wanted to know, there's this dangerous game that's being played in these woods, and there's just all these like mysterious little clues dropped throughout the book, and it was just so well done. In the same way that I thought that the Australian outback played a huge part in Stolen, I felt like these woods played a huge part in this book as well. Like the setting, it's so important, but at the same time I also loved all of these intense feelings that we see from both Emily and Damon, and wow, I loved this book as well. So just a really short video today about one of my favorite authors and two of her incredible books. So that's it from me today. Have you read either of these books? What did you think? Do let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and thank you so much for watching.